Is it possible to build a solar business that does $1 million in profit every year, starting with only $15,000? Yes, I think you could probably do it less than that, but any less than that, I tried to do it for $10,000, and it. I think my desire to get things done quickly overcame the desire to do it bootstrapped. But I believe I can do it with $15,000 and not need any more. My name's Josh Mackay. I'm building a solar business that's going to do $1 million in profit, and my starting investment is $15,000. I'm at day 41 of the build. I haven't been posting the content here, but I think I might go back and start posting all the content into the podcast because I think it's useful. I think people could probably go back and look at what's being done on each day. I'm not sure whether I do it as a day-by-day thing or, sort of group the days in together to do a week-by-week thing. I'm not sure. I feel like the day-by-day thing probably provides more value to, I guess, the target sort of audience, to bite-sized pieces of what's being done and what needs to be done for each day to progress on to the next one. Whereas if I'm going to weeks, I'm looking at large things done each week. I'm not sure. I haven't completely thought it all through. I'm recording all the content. So what I'm doing is I'm doing a video at the beginning of the day and a video at the end of the day. Most days I am able to do that. Actually, it's probably half-half. At least make the video at the beginning of the day, unless it was a really busy start, and then I'll do a video at the end of the day to recap everything. But every day I'm doing a video, and if I miss a second video, I'll recap the second day, the next day. So some of the things currently where we're at is, so I've got an operations person on. He's also really good in digital marketing. So he's been really helpful in helping me set this all up. He actually came up with the name SparkEdge, which has our solar company name. And the logo, we borrowed the logo. He redesigned the logo for sales launch. Looks amazing. Just the content and media that he produces is probably some of the best I've ever seen, really. As good as anything that I've ever seen, I should say. There's a lot of things we're working on, like developing the CRM automations. We've got commercial lead suppliers which are generating leads for us, and I've also been door knocking B2B. I also started door knocking residential because we needed sales through the door. So I just went out and door knocked. I was really proud of myself for doing that because I don't think I really wanted to. We tried getting Facebook leads, and I just realized that Facebook leads were going to take probably a few weeks, if not months, and a bit of money to really start cracking them. Although we probably did about 5 different ad types with different copy and different images, and a couple of them were generating messages for, I think it was like $1 a message or something, which is pretty good. And if we can turn those messages into leads, it was pretty good. So there was definitely some potential there, but I think what we want to do is probably qualify people a little bit more through a lead form. And there's a book called Scorecard Marketing by Daniel Presley that talks, it's basically like he does surveys, survey lead forms that get people to answer questions about themselves to find out how they rate, because people kind of like knowing about themselves. And so I'm curious to try some lead funnels there. But what I've done now is I've gone back to the old door-to-door method because I know it. I know how to set a team up in it. I literally went out there, door knocked for 4 days and made 2 sales that are worth, $4 or $5 grand each. So I'm going to bring on people in the door knocking side of things. We're going to work only 4 hours a day, 5 days a week. Just going to go out there and pump it into these sort of more regional areas outside of the metro region. And we are probably going to get little electric scooters to zip around. We're going to wear high-vis shirts and just go and have a lot of fun chatting to people about solar. So we've got an interview happening with someone on Monday. It seems pretty good. I've explained the role and everything, and he seems pretty keen. So pending that face-to-face interview, he probably will be the first appointment setter. I'm calling them sales development reps as per the recommendation of the book Predictable Revenue, which is about a guy, Josh Pike. No, that's a singer. I think Josh something. He started the cold outreach team for Salesforce. Maybe not didn't start it, maybe he developed it. And he just talks about job titles and different roles and separating and specializing people and having appointment setters and market response reps to respond to digital marketing and then actual sales reps to quote. So I'm modeling that a little bit. Well, we already did that when we were door knocking, but I'm just changing the titles a little bit. I am talking to people about the coming into door to door. Unless people are really enjoying it, I don't think most people want to stay in door to door. So I'm talking about the pathway of, over 3 to 6 months, we'll be probably moving into appointment setting for digital marketing leads as we start to learn those and maybe bring on agencies as well. Like I'd like to probably work with a King Kong Marketing, which is Sabri Subri's agency, and have a done for you model where they just do everything, and we can hopefully they do it on our Facebook and we get all that data. That would be very cool. And they do it on our Google AdWords campaigns and we get all that data from them over a period of time. So having them do it for us, generate the leads, we don't have to go through this painful learning process, and maybe the acquisition cost is higher initially, but in the long term we get to learn all the back end of doing it without making all the mistakes. So maybe the acquisition cost is actually the same because we're going to get rid of the expensive, well, not maybe expensive, just the mistakes that we might make along the way. Some of the things that I'm thinking about, in my last podcast, I was talking about the idea of going to America. I reevaluated my motivations for that, and I think it was mainly money. And there are a lot of cool things about America, but there are a lot of cool things about Australia too. And one of my biggest things about America was there's a big market and you can make 10 times the profit. And that's all still true. One of the other, I think the biggest things was like the events that you can go to. I think that's probably the biggest reason why I'd want to go to America, is because there's more of these sort of personal development and more people that sort of maybe similar wavelength and stuff. But then I thought to myself, like, honestly, if I just get a door-to-door team and we get a couple of salespeople, that'll be enough money for me to live pretty much whatever lifestyle I want to. Like, I'm not crazy. I'm not into like these supercars and all that stuff. I want a track bike. I want probably to own my own house, and I want to go to bounce with my kid, the trampoline park, a little bit more often, and maybe eat food a little bit more often, and eat food out a little bit more often. It doesn't take very much for me to be able to do that, even within Australia. So anything that I'm doing above and beyond that, I already know that it's not for money. So I can't go to America based on a decision made on money. Then the second thing was because I know it won't last, because I don't really care about the money. Money is good because it progresses the enjoyment and the building of it, which I really enjoy. Like, I really enjoy being innovative and creating things and solving problems and building new things and learning about stuff. Like, that's why I like being a business owner so much. I thought about the idea that, yes, America has a lot of those additional development and entrepreneurial style sort of summits and events and things like that. And Australia doesn't have as much of that, but I could be part of creating that as well, which is what I'm wanting to do with sales launches. I'm wanting to, I want to start getting barbecues done once a month. Have a Saturday where we invite business owners and even just people in the industry, but ideally it would probably be targeted towards, actually I was thinking about that today, probably target specifically towards business owners, solo business owners or the executive team of solo businesses, and have a barbecue once a month just to catch up and shoot the shit and not sell anything, and just literally just to meet people from other industries that are keen to talk about what they do and meet other people where maybe we share ideas and maybe we just shoot the breeze and talk about some pain points that we all have together. And I think it sounds cool. So I could be part of bringing that to Australia in one category. And it would start with solar, and maybe it moves into other industries if we start. That's why I've called it sales launch. I didn't call it solar launch. I called it sales launch because I don't want to limit myself to only solar, but I do want to start with solar because I know the business really well. It's also part of the reason why I'm building this business, is because there are aspects like lead generation that I don't know as well as what I would like. I know how to start a door-to-door team, and that's great, but I don't think that's completely sustainable, which is why I've even told people that after 3 to 6 months we'll be looking at transitioning into the role, because I know I've done it enough to know that it's not a long-term thing. But we can get new people in, we can train them on the door-to-door team, and then we can transition them into other roles. And it is a fantastic training grounds for new staff, especially any sales staff. So I do think that could be a really cool part of it. And I kind of like just being grounded, like every now and then if I go out and door knock or still sell every now and then, to be grounded and connected with the customer and be reminded of, the way to speak to a customer and the way to sell. And that is really going to help me in understanding the marketing and knowing what's working. When I'm having a conversation with a customer or trying to book an appointment, I know what's hooking their interest. I know what I can say to people in certain areas of certain demographics on how to hook their interest. And that is something that you're playing with every single door. And you look at someone and you're making a judgment about that person and how they fit and how you should speak to them, what tone you should use, all within a few seconds. And that comes across as whether you're like, hey, it's Josh, or hey, it's Josh, how's it going? Like different ways of approaching the conversation. So there are a lot of useful skills that I can have by staying sort of grounded. But so yeah, I thought maybe I'm going to hang tight anyway, because my kid's wife, my old partner, she needs to finalise her passport application and citizenship application here in Australia anyway. So she wouldn't be able to do anything and move over. I don't think she's too keen on the America idea, which is fair enough, because she just moved over here and got settled. So yeah, I just really wanted to isolate my motivations, and I kind of like the idea of building something over here. Australia feels home, and especially Perth feels really home for me. And also my kiddo's in a school, and he's not the type of person like me that you could rip me out of my situation right here and throw me in a completely new, completely different situation in a different country that I don't even speak the language, and I'll still have a smile on my face, and I'll meet someone and I'll start learning the language, and I'll pick up and help, in any way that I can. That's my personality. My kiddo's not the same. He takes a little bit more time. He's a bit more shy. He warms up to people, and that's cool. Like, I'm not going to try and change that. That's who he is. But I also don't want to, uproot him. I do feel like I'm uprooting him if I move. So there's that part of it too. And I like the idea. I like the challenge of trying to be part of bringing some of these really cool things that are in America over here. And when I'm earning enough money, which is not going to be very, very far away, I can go to America anytime I want to go to attend these events. So, I don't know. I've kind of removed all these reasons why I'd want to go to America and give myself a good reason to sort of challenge myself and do it here. Whether I succeed or not, I don't know. I'm listening to the book 12 and a Half Steps by Gary Vaynerchuk again. I love that book. I really do. It's just the qualities that Gary believes make a really good CEO or business owner, and it's all about putting your employee first and you working for them, and having the right tools to develop them and to look at things in certain ways that if someone makes a big mistake, instead of getting upset about them, it's like, well, I just paid whatever the mistake was to train them. That's cool. That's something that they learned. That's something that I learned, and take accountability of the fact that I didn't train them on that, so that's why the mistake was made, or whatever it was. It's just a really good book. It's not just about accountability, but it's about patience. It's about kind candor, being honest, but being kind with your honesty as well. Yeah, I'm reading it again because now that I'm hiring people and stuff, I just want to make sure that these things are front of mind, because it's really important to me that I have a really cool culture within the company, and that everyone that joins on is really aware of that and is able to sort of, I guess, put their finger on the pulse of what it is